There's a formula to it. A very simple formula.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Bite Size Films. Yes, we are finally entering what I like to call the Cult of Thorn trilogy. If you don't know what that is yet, I will explain as we move forward in this series. But remember that this is only one of the timelines in this entire franchise, and if you come out of these next 3 movies hating this timeline, we can pick and choose exactly what Halloween movies you want to watch and what you decide as canon. I personally like this timeline for what it is, but it's definitely not my favorite. My favorite timeline is either H2O's timeline or Halloween 2018's timeline. But I will get more into depth with all of these timelines in a different video. A few more things before we get started. I did want to say thank you to everyone who watches my videos and listens to my podcast. Horror movies have been something I have loved to dive into and put my passion and care into, and getting to share that passion with all of you who watch means literally everything to me, and I could not thank everyone enough. The past year has been one of my favorite years of my life, and I appreciate all of you for supporting me on my journey to keep making horror videos for years to come. But in order for those years to come, we have to be on our way. So for now, let's get biting. Halloween 4 was released on October 21st, 1988 to $6,831,250. Adjusted for inflation, that number is $15,840,069.21. While not a lot of money in today's standards, that is still a very influential amount of money for 1988. For comparison, Halloween Kills' opening box office was $49 million. This is where I believe Michael Myers became the cash cow that Mustafa Akkad had been waiting for. Because while people enjoyed this, some didn't like the cult aspects introduced here, or the fact that Jamie Lee Curtis was not in it, or just the general distrust in the series after Halloween 3 not having Michael in it. This is why I think we get Halloween 5, which I'll talk about later in 1989, and that movie flopped with audiences and grossed $1 million less than Halloween 4. They introduced a lot of things that honestly do not matter in Halloween 5, like the way they handled literally everything in Halloween 5 is just bad in my opinion. Okay, I'll wait for more explanation in a future video and eventually a ranking of them. Halloween 4 was critically received very interestingly, and the audiences had a lot of mixed feelings about certain parts of the film, but that's some things we can talk about as the movie progresses on. Parts of this film are hated and disliked, but I personally think this is just as high as the producer's cut of Halloween 6, which will be interesting. I really haven't considered whether I'll do producers or theatrical cuts of movies. I think theatrical so I can keep every movie as consistent as possible. Our movie starts trying to pick up the pieces from the time skip / ignoring Halloween 3. It's now Halloween Eve 1988. I do believe that the intro, while it goes away from the ever iconic pumpkin, it is a really amazing intro to the setting of this movie more than the pumpkin really does, especially in some of the later movies. An ambulance is driving in the rain, arriving at Ridgemont Sanatorium. The ambulance staff are led into the building with a super creepy office security guard. They are there to pick up a patient. We get this amazing line that I love.
Jesus ain't got nothing to do with this place.
We eventually found our way to the basement where we find a doctor overlooking a patient. One of the doctors is meant to stay by the patient, and they talk about Dr. Loomis, and we get the first instance that the patient is Michael Myers. They leave and boom, Michael beats the man's head against the wall and puts his thumb into his head. We meet Jamie and Rachel. There's a black car outside, and we get some exposition here that kind of marks the reality of who Jamie is. Jamie goes back to bed and finds a picture of Jamie Lee Curtis's character, Laurie Strode. Yeah, they had to have named Jamie after Jamie Lee Curtis. There's no way they didn't do that. Anyways, Jamie leaves, and we get a flash of Michael Myers in the window the first time we see him. The door opens and she goes to investigate and she comes back and it opens again. Bam! Someone grabs him from under the bed and oh shit, it's Michael, Mr. Halloween Myers. But wait, was it real? Who knows? We cut to Halloween Day back at the house. Rachel is told by her mom that she has to babysit even though she has a date, and Jamie comes in and makes a very self-depreciating comment.
Sorry I ruined everything. I wasn't here, you can go out.
We meet Dr. Loomis, who is angry about Michael being allowed out of the sanatorium. The doctor gets a call about an accident, the same one which happened earlier after Michael killed the ambulance workers. Loomis goes into the ambulance to find blood everywhere inside. Also, this ambulance is like absolutely destroyed, like crushed. Dr. Loomis is now going to Haddonfield. Oh dang, we cut to this mechanic, we know what that means. A stab. Dr. Loomis shows up and goes into the gas station / mechanic shop looking for an attendant, but instead he finds a dead attendant, which isn't necessarily the same thing. He also finds a dead woman behind the counter, and for the first time since Halloween 2, Dr. Loomis and Michael meet eye to eye. A piece of behind the scenes info here. In this shot, the wig for the mask is like a light pink color because they actually made a mistake with the wigs and turned the hair pink, so they just shot these long shots like this so it wasn't painstakingly obvious. But now that I pointed out to you, you'll know immediately. Also, there's a scene later on in the movie where you can see it way too clearly for your own good, which I'll point out later. Dr. Loomis tries to get Michael to not kill anyone in Haddonfield, but nope, he actually shoots at Michael, but he like disappears or something. It's really confusing. Loomis runs inside and Michael takes the truck and Loomis shoots and Michael drives away, setting the whole gas station on fire, causing an electrical fire. This is the beginning of what I call the action movie Halloween sequels, where it tries to ride the middle between action and horror, which we will see more in the next few sequels to an even greater extent. We see Jamie at school being relentlessly bullied for honestly no reason. Like, why are these kids so freaking mean to her? Luckily, Rachel is there to stop them from being too mean to her. Jamie has decided that she wants to go trick-or-treating, which ultimately means they have to quickly find a costume for her. They go to the store and Rachel finds her date, and Jamie goes to look for a costume. She looks at a bunch of costumes before finding a clown costume that looks very similar to the one from the original Halloween. Her date is not a big fan of her having to babysit, and we get another bit of Michael Myers flashes, but nope, he wasn't there, or was he? Who knows? Oh wait, shit, there he is. Dr. Loomis is on the side of the road trying to make it to Haddonfield when he gets picked up by an old man in a truck. This guy is what I would call the crazy Ralph of this movie. He's a very quirky, strange old character. This guy also drinks and drives a little, kinda, which, yeah, you shouldn't do that. Good lord, I love Donald Pleasence's subtleties in this movie. The way he looks down when the guy pulls out a bottle and drinks it, and then the way he reacts when asked if he wants a drink, which was kind of a weird metaphor for Donald Pleasence's actual drinking issues, but that's besides the point. Rachel and Jamie's parents leave the house and Jamie goes upstairs to put on her costume. They leave the house to go finally trick-or-treating and Michael is in the house and sees pictures of Laurie Strode and baby Michael and now Jamie. Dr. Loomis goes to the police station and looks for Sheriff Brackett, but he'd already moved. He's arguing to the new sheriff that Michael Myers is now after Jamie Strode. Donald Pleasence absolutely sells every single line. It's absolutely incredible. Jamie is now trick-or-treating and she rings the doorbell at one house and a girl from the mart was there. Rachel's boyfriend is in the same house, obviously implying he cheated on her. Jamie keeps walking with her friends. There's a bar full of people and a bunch of the guys have to go down to the police station because they were told to close down. And when they call, it just rings because nobody's there. Okay, so there's a scene of an electric worker named Bucky, and Michael Myers comes up to him and throws him into the electric coils and things, and he just gets shocked for a while, sending the whole power of Haddonfield down. This just seems insane how much damage it really does, but that's besides the point. Rachel is still looking for Jamie because she lost her after talking to her boyfriend. They're both thinking that they're hearing the other until Rachel sees Michael Myers and begins sprinting away from him. Into people's like backyards and then onto another road, and now Rachel finds Jamie as Loomis and the other sheriff find them both. But oh no, there's Michael. But wait, there's another Michael. Wait, 3 Michael Myers? What is happening here? Okay, it was just stupid freaking teenagers dressed up as Michael Myers. Wait, there's the real Michael. Dang it. They come back to the police station and watch as it's just completely broken and torn down, and there's literally nothing left or no one left that's not in pieces. The bar gang from earlier shows up and Loomis tells them it's Michael Myers, and now the crew is on the hunt for him. Michael is hiding in the back of his police car in front of Jamie and Rachel's house that pulls out as the parents drive in. The mob then literally kills some random person by just shooting someone that was behind a bush. The girl that Brady, Rachel's boyfriend, is cheating on, her father is the sheriff, and they're barricading themselves in the house. So it's a bunch of cops, Rachel, Jamie, and Dr. Loomis and Brady in the house hiding from Michael Myers. I love this shot of Michael in the shadow in this scene. It's so freaking cool. There's just something so creepy about it. The girl goes over to the sheriff waiting at the door, but wait, nope, it's actually Michael Myers who slams a shotgun through her, and my god, they did a good job editing this kill. Rachel finds the bodies and Jamie is missing, and they eventually find her upstairs, and Michael does a slow walk up the stairs. Brady is so stupid by not just walking and reloading. It's just so stupid that he's just run and then reload in a bit. You don't have to do it right then. He gets overpowered by Michael and gets his head like broke or like snapped. Either way, he's dead. He chases Jamie and Rachel into the attic and they both run outside onto the roof. You get some classic sliding down the roof before Michael somehow starts climbing up what appears to be a different part of the roof. They barely get away before Rachel tries to lower Jamie down but leaves her hanging and decides to jump down herself by way of Michael Myers. Jamie runs away and ends up being caught by Dr. Loomis. They decide to go to the schoolhouse for some reason. I guess they think they'd be safe there or something. But like if you're trying to go to the last place they think Michael would see them, go to like a bar or something. Nobody's gonna look for like a 10-year-old at a bar. But anyways, here's the other really terrible mask scene. I'll slow it down and show you the bits and pieces of. Michael finds Jamie and Rachel luckily comes in to save them. They manage to get away with the bar crew and they're trying to leave the town, but oh no, Michael somehow gets into the bed of the truck or something, and I honestly don't get how, because by this part the cult wasn't really a thing. But anyways, he rips this guy's neck open, and Rachel starts to drive and cue the Halloween theme as we are now officially in the third act of this movie. Michael starts tearing at Rachel as much as he possibly can. He literally slams his head into the windshield and then gets blown off. Rachel gets the truck and runs straight into Michael, sending him straight towards a well, but not into it. Jamie goes over towards Michael when the police and everyone gets there, but nope, Michael's not dead, and they just start putting bullet after bullet into him, and he falls backwards into the well. Back at Jamie and Rachel's house, Dr. Loomis shows up saying Michael Myers is now dead. Jamie's mom brings Jamie upstairs to start a bath, and we get a first-person shot where someone grabs scissors and they put a mask on. They lean over the mom and she screams. Dr. Loomis looks up and holy shit. Wait, did Jamie just kill her mom? Holy, and Dr. Loomis was gonna kill her? Wait. And with that, a bite has been taken out of Halloween 4. I actually really do enjoy that ending, and I wish they went forward with that storyline, more than the one they actually did end up going with, which honestly doesn't really do it for me all that much, even though I do enjoy them to a degree, except for the 5th movie, which we will be covering soon. Halloween 4 had 15 kills and a total runtime of 1 hour and 28 minutes. This movie was directed by Dwight H. Little, who went on to direct episodes of 24 and Prison Break, as well as editing Free Willy 2. Where this series goes from here is honestly really insane, and I think this is officially the point where the series begins to go absolutely insane at points. My favorite kill of this film has to be the shotgun through the chest death. It's just so violent and unexpected. Thank you for watching this video, it really means the world to me and I cannot thank you enough. Please follow my Twitter @slashithorror and consider donating to my Patreon so I can make more videos like this one. Thank you all once again for subscribing and liking the video. Remember, treat every day like it's Halloween.